How's it going, guys? I'm Nick, and today I'm going to be doing another dramatic reading. Now, I know it's taken me a while to get another dramatic reading done. I just haven't really gotten around to it. I mean, I've been doing a lot of other stuff, and, with the new channel, I've been working on content nonstop. I haven't uploaded a single thing for it, though. That's the odd part. But anyway, more to the point, today I'm going to be reading Voodoo Pancakes. Sorry, I got a piece of foam that wants to get caught in the wind. But I'm going to be reading Voodoo Pancakes. I will warn you, this is a clopfic. A few people told me it doesn't really get too terribly into it. I mean, it's got bits and pieces here and there, but I'm just going to warn you now, before you start listening to this, that it is a clopfic. But, let's get right into it. Damn it. Dr. Butterscotch cursed to himself after he lost his 10th game of solitaire in a row. He was getting rather frustrated because of this nagging thought in his head constantly telling him that there was something he was supposed to be doing, and it was hampering his mad card skills. Yeah, hampering. I thought I read that wrong for a second. Letting out a sigh, he decided to finally give in to his responsibilities and reluctantly turned his attention to the patient's file that was open on his desk. It was yet another Pegasus victim of the infamous Crystal Empire's indestructible glass, making this the 10th case involving severe spinal injuries, and the glass since the damn Empire reappeared. Now he had to be the one to tell the Wonderbolt in training that she would likely never fly again. Oh my god, that would be the worst thing in the world. Anyway, so as protocol dictated, with bad news, he was making the patient and her 5 friends wait as long as possible. "Nurse Redheart," he called. "Yes, Dr. Butterscotch?" the nurse asked, poking her head into the doctor's office. "Would you check on Miss Dash and tell her and those friends of hers that I will be right in? Right away." 20 minutes later. "Good news. You can still walk," the doctor announced cheerfully. "Great. When can I start flying again?" That didn't last long. "Yeah, about that." He cleared his throat before continuing. The motor control nerves that are associated with your wings have been damaged. You may never fly again." As he expected, every pony in the room gasped and started to tear up except him. Because that would be weird, and Rainbow Dash, who instead took on a 1,000-mile stare while her mouth hung open. But hey, she can still move her legs and only suffered minor brain damage, so it's not so bad, he said, trying to defuse the situation as drool started to drip from Rainbow Dash's open mouth. "How could this happen? I mean, she practically crashed through a building every week, and usually just walks it off," he asked a purple alicorn. "Oh, hey, Princess Sparkle, what are you doing here?" "I'm Rainbow's friend." "Is that so?" The doctor paused for several seconds to think about what his wife was going to make for dinner. Doctor, I asked you a question." "Ah, yes. Miss Dash is somewhat of a medical mystery. Her bones seem to have the consistency of reinforced steel and heal in the span of a few days when broken. She has baffled every medical expert that has looked at her case." He paused for a second, then continued with more serious tone. "Quite frankly, I'm surprised she hasn't been abducted by the government and forced to be the subject of a series of gruesome and inappropriate experiments," he said with a he said with a deadpan face. The whole room suddenly went deathly silent. I'm really sorry. I'm just bucking you. I'm just bucking with you all. Celestia wouldn't sign the abduction paperwork we Celestia wouldn't sign the abduction paperwork we submitted. Anyway, as I was saying, she might have freakishly mutilated super bones, but her nervous system is very much normal. I'd say she's just been lucky up until now. There has to be something we can do. Being a Wonderbolt has been her dream since she was a filly, said an exasperated yellow Pegasus. I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do medically. Don't nerves heal on their own? Asked an orange earth pony with a southern drawl. Some regeneration is possible, but it's unlikely she will gain enough motor control to achieve flight. What about alternatives? Asked the princess. Alternatives? Like voodoo? Because I don't recommend voodoo, the doctor responded. No, but maybe alchemy? The princess asked. That's voodoo, stated a pink earth pony. The doctor wondered why he didn't know the names of most of the mares in the room. A feat of amazing absent-mindedness, considering he was a resident of Ponyville. It's not voodoo, Pinky, Twilight responded. The crazy witch doctor that lives in the Everfree Forest practices it. Therefore, it is voodoo, the pink pony said. Zecora isn't a witch doctor, Twilight said. I'm pretty sure she is, darling, said a white unicorn. Whatever. Look, we know at least some of her potions work. Maybe she could make something that could help Rainbow. Like a voodoo concoction? Pinky, alchemy is not voodoo. It's the respectable practice of mixing herbs and other earthly substances to create medical remedies. Actually, no, alchemy is the creation of gold from non-gold metals. Get it right. Voodoo remedies, Pinky said, as the princess's right eyebrow twitched. You want my advice? All magic that affects the body permanently has side effects, almost always serious. I highly recommend Miss Dash just resign herself to her new flightless life and finds a different job. I think there's a janitor position. Oh my god. No, Rainbow would never be a janitor. I think there's a janitor position opened here. Or she could always submit herself to those experiments I was talking about earlier. Really. Taking bone samples isn't that painful. Agree with the doctor. The mayor with a what? Oh, it's just Applejack. What about experiments? The doctor interrupted. There's a reason alchemy ain't practiced in Equestria, she continued, ignoring the grinning doctor's comments. I'll do it, Rainbow Dash finally breaking out of her drooling trance and garring the attention of everyone in the room. You sure? And you sure about that, Sugar Cube? The side effects might be mighty intense, Sugar Cube. Sugar Cube? I have to fly again. I don't care what it takes, she said with a determined look off into space. The hell you looking at, Sugar Cube? I have no idea. Is it normal for my brain to itch? I'm sure it's fine, the doctor assured her as she continued to stare very intensely at nothing for a moment. A very tense emotional silence before he broke it like a spine-impacting crystal glass at high speed. Well then, sounds like you guys have an adventure brewing. Don't let me stop you, he said, and then let out a forced hearty chuckle that lasted for a few seconds before continuing to a humorous tone. But seriously, get out. We need this bed. Oh my god, I couldn't help myself on that one. But seriously, get out. We need this bed. triple dot. Alright, who's with me? Alright, who's with me? Twilight said to her friends, who had gathered outside of the hospital as a random stallion walked into a wall, and then an older stallion tripped while leering at the young, voluptuous mare booty. The crunching sound of a hip breaking could be heard. Perhaps you should face another direction, Twilight said as her friend repositioned themselves so that their behinds weren't facing the oncoming traffic. Twilight? I don't have anyone to watch the animals on such short notice. But if you give me some time, we can do it later in the week, Fluttershy said. No, it has to be tonight. I'm going overseas to the Griffin Lands tomorrow. I'm sorry, Twilight. I really need to get home. That's fine, Fluttershy. I still have the rest of you. Actually, I think it might be best if I stay out of this as well. Zakura and I don't really have the best relationship. Besides, you don't need me. You're an alicorn now. I'll just slow you down, Rarity said. Oh, I forgot to do her voice. Oh well. Would you stop with the alicorn thing? What? I'm sorry, that's like the best Rarity voice I can do. I know I should probably just go kill myself. You think just because I'm an alicorn, I don't need your help whenever I ask you to do something hard or dangerous with me? Well, do you need me? Not really, but that's not the point. Right. If you excuse me, I need to get home and prepare dinner for Sweetie Belle. Applejack? I think I left Apple Bloom in the oven. Gotta go. Of course. She baked Apple Bloom. Okay. Pinkie Pie? Do I have to go over the voodoo thing again? I'll go, Rainbow Dash said. Absolutely not. The doctor told you to rest, Twilight objected. I can't even get up, and I can't even get to my house. Where am I going to sleep? That's right. She can stay with me, Pinkie said, excitedly and bouncing in place, perhaps a little too excitedly. You're not going to feed me cupcakes. Oh, how did I know they were going to make that joke? What's wrong with cupcakes? I don't know. It just feels weird eating your cupcakes. Everyone eats my cupcakes. Why do you feel weird? Never mind. Forget I said anything. Okay then. I guess I'm going to the Everfree Forest alone. I'll be back in the morning. Okie dokie Loki. Oh, and whatever you do, don't let her take your hair, or don't let her take a hair sample from you. Why would she take my hair? You know, for the voodoo doll, if she does. You'll be her slave forever. And forever is a long time. The princess chose not to respond to the irritating comment and simply turned and walked off in the direction of the supernatural forest. Be careful, Twilight, Rainbow called after the princess before turning to Pinkie and saying, Hey, are you sure the cakes are okay with me staying at their house while they're gone? Totally. I asked them 3 months ago. What? And they said you could stay as long as you... I wasn't hurt 3 months ago. Pinkie sense, duh. Oh, of course. So, what's for dinner? Pizza Hut sound good? My treat. We could get stuffed crust. Sure. Oh my gosh, I'm so full, Rainbow said as she rubbed her belly. You ate like one slice. I know, I'm such a pig. Well, I guess we can save the rest for breakfast. Sounds good. Hey, do you want to do something? Rainbow asked, taking note of the situation. Two adults, herself being bisexual and the other of which she suspected had been the very least bi-curious, in a house all to themselves. Nah, I'm gonna hit the sack. When you're ready for bed, you can use the guest room upstairs. Okay then, Rainbow said, ears dropping as Pinky finished cleaning the plates as she walked out of the kitchen. Depressed and having nothing better to do, Rainbow headed upstairs to the guest room, where she shamefully masturbated, then cried herself to sleep, thinking about how lonely she was. Were you crying last night? Pinky asked as she placed a cup of coffee in front of Rainbow, then took a seat next to her at the kitchen table and sipped from her own cup, which was more sugar than coffee. Of course not. I never cry. Really? I could have sworn I heard some pony crying last night. I didn't hear anything. Suddenly, as if on cue, Twilight appeared in a burst of purple energy, hiccuped, then ran up to the window and shut the blinds. I'm being followed. I think they're on to me, she said. Who's following you? Rainbow asked, genuinely confused. That creepy filly with the curly red hair and the lisp. I think she's working with the sheriff. That's actually how it was written. I'm not that slow. What did you do? Pinky asked. Damn it, Cadence. Why are you always blaming me for shit? Shit. You're just jealous. I'm better princess than you. This is actually all how it's written. I mean, what do you even do? Celestia can race the bucking shun. Luna influish the dream of millions of ponies, which, like her, there's no way I could ever pronounce that word with how it's written. Or shum cozy shit. You just give teenage stallions boners with your love magic. Twilight, are you drunk? Rainbow asked. I mean, as if it wasn't blatantly obvious. Pfft, drunk? No. Not drunk. And most definitely not on drugs, she said. She said, then snickered. Have you even gone to bed yet? Twilight stared blindly at her friend's mouth open for several awkward seconds before suddenly squatting on her legs and leaning her head back and closing her eyes. Twilight, what are you... Rainbow's thought process was horrendously derailed by the sound of liquid hitting the hardwood floor on a steady stream by a long drawn-out groan of relief. Oh, come on! I just cleaned these floors! Shouted an exasperated Pinkie Pie. But the disoriented Twilight seemed to ignore her as she finished relieving herself before standing up, hobbling to the side. Hey, was I supposed to do something last night? She asked, looking at Rainbow. The healing potion? Didn't you get it? Rainbow asked. Healing potion? Like the one I got from Zecora? Yes, that potion. What did you do with that? How would I know? Wait, I'm confused. Twilight almost falling over as she stumbled, keeping her balance. You know what? It's not important. I really don't think you should be standing right now. Pinky, is there somewhere she can lie down? Rainbow asked, coming over to Twilight's side so she could lean onto her for support. I guess she could use the couch in the living room. Rainbow helped her over to the couch, where the princess removed her saddlebag before collapsing upon the sofa. So, is that the potion in your bag? Rainbow asked eagerly. But the intoxicated Twilight didn't respond. Having already passed out, she was dead to the world. Oh my god, it's everywhere! Pinky yelled from the other room, where she was on the floor cleaning up the urine with a sponge and bucket. Yes. So hot is this story. Pretend it's lemonade. Rainbow yelled back before turning her attention to Twilight's saddlebag. Rustling through it, she found a small, peculiar paper bag with the words "For a Skunk" written on the outside. On the inside, it was filled with some kind of fuzzy-looking herb. Oh my! Kind of looks like the stuff buffalo put in their peace pipes. That's called weed. Putting aside the baggie, she went into the saddlebag and found 2 unlabeled bottles. Bingo! She removed the cork from one of the bottles and took a sip and immediately spat it out. Holy shit! That's gotta be over 100 proof! Yeah, that's probably rum or absinthe or something. Did you seriously just sit and just spit on my floor? Pinky said from behind Rainbow, obviously done cleaning the kitchen floor. Sorry, I thought that was the potion, but at least we know which one it is now, she said, pulling out the cork of the second bottle and glugging down its relish brown colored contents all at once. Huh. Tastes like apple cider. Actually, it tastes exactly like apple cider. Maybe it's just mixed with apple cider. You feel any different? A little hungry, but not really. Probably just takes a little bit to kick in. Or it could just be apple cider. Of course. Well, if you're hungry, why don't we finish that pizza? Rainbow nodded and followed Pinky back to the kitchen with an appetite unlike the previous night. She went to eat the majority of the leftover pizza, consuming 5 pieces in the span of a few minutes. Despite this, her hunger, strangely, did not cease, and when she reached into the box to grab another slice, her greedy hoof found nothing. Groaning in protest, her stomach demanded food like an angry god, as if the 5 slices of pizza was nothing. Hey, Pinky, do you think I might have a problem? Still hungry? Yep. Makes sense. If the stuff you drank is supposed to repair damaged nerves, something your body wouldn't do on its own, it would need to get energy for that from somewhere. Yeah, whatever. Do you got any more food? Oh! How about pancakes? I have a special recipe for buttermilk. They're loaded with fat, but really tasty. Pinky said in a voice dripping with odd excitement. Oh my. Yeah, sure. I could work off the calories when I can fly again, Rainbow said as a various madcap grin played across the pink pony's face. A red flag that in poor Dashy's extreme appetence for food did not notice. Somewhere in an alternate universe, some big filthy ape is having a fit of maniacal laughter. With 15 minutes, they had a bit of an assembly line going. Pinky would cook a stack of delicious calorie-loaded hotcakes covered with sugary maple syrup, and Rainbow would gluttonously devour them as the pastry chef cooked more. Oh my god, that made me so hungry just now. Rainbow's stomach couldn't keep up at that pace for too long, and though it continued to stretch way beyond normal capacity, the digestive organ was having trouble handling the large amount of food it was receiving, despite its hunger groans and messages to Rainbow's brain that it still wanted more. Because of this, she was forced to slow down on her intake quite a bit after consuming 4 stacks, and before long, the table was overflowing with plates of pancake stacks. Pinky... Rainbow paused to let out a very unladylike belch before continuing. I think this is enough. I'm just using up the rest of the batter. I don't like to let food go to waste, she said before carrying the last stack of pancakes to the table and taking a seat next to insatisfiably hungry friend. Rainbow looked down at her distended belly, which started to spread outward over the padded cushion she was sitting on. Making its way towards the floor, she wondered about Pinky's statement about not letting food go to waste. Does she really intend to make me eat all these pancakes? Her ravenous hunger certainly showed no signs of letting up, but she wondered how much her stomach could stretch before exploding, and whether or not she'd ever be satisfied. You enjoying those pancakes? I couldn't get enough. Ugh. But I'm having trouble getting it down. Let me help you. She grabbed a forkful. Oh my god, I feel so sorry for Rainbow Dash. She grabbed a forkful of cakes, bringing it up and into Rainbow's awaiting maw, while her free hoof massaged her bulging belly. Don't think about it. Just chew and swallow, she said, bringing another fork up to Rainbow's lips as she swallowed the last mouth with one eye closed. Soren landed in the center of the lively Ponyville marketplace, a hub of activity where he hoped someone could lead him to the injured Wonderbolt trainee he was looking for. And it was to be a mandatory visit to keep up appearances. He told the poor mayor how devastated the Wonderbolts were to lose such a great flyer, offer a shoulder to cry on, and then he'd be on his way. And scoping out the area, he spotted an apple stand run by a cute earth pony wearing I still don't know how to say that type of hat. It's some S-word hat. I don't know. Thinking he could use a snack, he walked over to the stand. Howdy. 10 bits an apple. 100 for a dozen. 10 bits an apple? That's absurd. How could you possibly get anywhere with that, with charging so much? Well, considering I have the only apple farm in 100 miles, I pretty much cornered the market in Ponyville. I can charge whatever I want, and these folks will pay for it. If not, they don't get apples. If you ask me, 10 bits is mighty generous. Fine, Soren said, tossing the apple entrepreneur 10 bits. Not that it was a serious hit for his bank, considering he was a ridiculously overpaid professional athlete. Hey, do you know where, he paused, looking at writing on his hoof before continuing. Rainbow Dash? He said as he grabbed an apple and took a bite out of it. Yep, she's my friend. Could you tell me where I could find her? For 20 bits I could. Oh, Applejack. Are you for real? Soren asked, but the business-savvy pony showed no indications that she was joking in her expression. Letting out a sigh, he tossed the orange mare 20 more bits. She's at Sugar Cube Corner, she said, pointing a hoof at a building that looked like a giant gingerbread house. Thanks, he said, heading over to the aforementioned building. Pleasure doing business with you, she said, with a satisfied grin on her face. The door was unlocked, so Soren let himself in. Something he tends to do a lot. Oh my. No, that's not what they said in the story. I just thought I'd throw that in because, it sounds like a sexual joke. So, Being famous, most ponies are thrilled to let him meander about their properties. Seriously, if you came home and found Lauren Faust and Tara Strong sitting on your couch eating your food, would you be upset? Hell no. The lights were off, and the lights were off in the store, but you heard two mares talking further in the building. Following their voices, he soon found himself in a kitchen. Let me help you, said a pink earth pony as she grabbed a forkful of pancakes from a table covered with stacks of cakes, then brought it up to the mouth of what Soren assumed was Rainbow Dash, while a pink mare's free hoof massaged the Pegasus's. That's how they wrote it. Pegasus. I think that's how you say it, or I think that's how it's written. Actually, I don't know. Pegasus's impressive bulgy belly. Don't think about it. Just chew and swallow. the pink mare said as she brought another forkful up to Rainbow's lips and as the stuffed mare swallowed the last mouthful with one eye closed. "That's hot," he said, garring the attention of the two girls. "Can I help you?" the pink pony asked, irritation evident in her voice. "Soren?" Rainbow Dash said, looking more surprised than him. "Could I get in on this?" he asked. The two mares looked at each other and then back at him. "It's fine with me." "Buck, yeah, you can," Rainbow Dash said. Soren gleefully took a seat at the other side of Rainbow as the pastry chef shoved more cakes down her gullet, then more and more still. Soren was content to watch while rubbing that beautiful taut belly as it slowly expanded under his hoof with each bite she took, eventually expanding over the padded cushion and to the floor. She was like a machine. Before long, she had devoured all the cakes on the table but 3. She let out an impressive burp, not even bothered to say, "Excuse me. I think I might actually be getting full. The hunger isn't intense anymore." "Don't you even think of stopping yet. You're going to finish that last stack," Pinky stated as if Rainbow had no choice. Oh, jeez. "I don't know if I can." Oh. "Maybe something to drink would help," Soren suggested. Rainbow nodded. He started to pour a glass of apple cider when an idea popped in his head. Why bother with a glass? Just brought the whole jug over and held it to Rainbow Dash's lips. She playfully licked around the lip of the jug and then tilted her head back, and with Soren's assistance started guzzling down the sweet liquid straight from the jug. She chugged, some of the cider dripped from her mouth and onto the slowly expanding belly. With the previous contents of the jug now in Rainbow's overstretched stomach, and audibly slishing around as she rubbed it. Soren put the jug down and then brought his muzzle to the spot where the cider dripped. He followed the trail of liquid with his tongue from the top of her belly up to her chest and then to her neck, then chin, and finally to her lips, where his tongue did a brief dance with hers, all while filling her up with his frontal hooves before pulling away. She blushed profusely. In her eyes, he saw obvious arousal with her. "Got you now," he thought, with a silly smile upon his face. "Why don't you get a room?" Pinky said, sounding a little uncomfortable. "Don't worry. I got enough passion for the boat." Oh my. "Whoa, hold up, buddy. I'm not doing a threesome with Rainbow. I don't swing that way." "Wait, what? You seem so into feeding me." "Like I said before, I don't really like to let food go to waste. I had a bunch of eggs and milk that were about to go bad, and I saw an opportunity to get rid of it. Plain and simple. So, if you're going to ravish each other, please use the guest bedroom upstairs," Pinky said blatantly. "Alright, that's cool. We'll go upstairs," Soren said. "But I don't think I can make it up the stairs." "Leave that to me," he said, doing a few stretches before using his impressive upper body strength to lift Rainbow in his forelegs. Giving her a wink, she wrapped her forelegs around his neck. Then, using his world-class wings, he floated out of the kitchen and up the stairs to the bedroom. "Yeah, that just happened," he said, placing Rainbow gently on the bed, belly up. "I think this is Mr. and Mrs. Cake's bedroom." "I'm sure they won't mind," Soren said as he got onto the bed and stood over what was to be his latest conquest. "Oh my." I'm not sure. We'll make the bed when we're done. They'll never know," he said, leading his muzzle to merge his mouth with hers, while she explored his chest with her hooves. Cheeks burned hot as the two shared a passionate kiss for several sensual moments. Her breath smelled of maple syrup, especially when she burped, while he was in her mouth. He didn't mind, though. It only served to fan the flames burning inside him. He pulled away, a line of saliva from her mouth following him. Feeling particularly generous that day, Soren decided to turn his attention to the region below Rainbow's magnificent belly. He started by caressing her inner thighs, causing her to dig her frontal hooves into the bed and letting out a whimper. Then he mounted his lips on her mare hood, slowly began licking her like an ice cream cone. She squirmed and let out a long, drawn-out moan of pleasure, indicating he was doing a good job expanding his already Glanic-sized ego. As he built up the intensity of his mouth work, he could literally taste her passion while she squirmed and moaned louder and louder. Lieutenant, I don't fucking know. Itzy and her considerably large what? Oh well. And her considerably large stallion associate. Sergeant Mumbles, both clad in brilliant golden armor. How does the story go from that to this? The busy Ponyville marketplace. What? Mermerny. What? Mumbles mumbled in a deep voice. Oh, I had to go even deeper. Maybe I need to go even deeper than this. Is that even possible? Pointing a hoof at an orange mare selling apples. Are you sure? She's one of the elements. Murrah. Okay. Well, look, we have to talk with her. The two walked over to the apple cart. Howdy, you want to buy some apples? I can give you two a special military discount. No, we're both good. Mare maple. What? You just ate a huge breakfast like 20 minutes ago? Mare. Fine. We'll take 2 apples. 14 bits. I thought you said you were going to give us a military discount. I did. Normally it'll be 20. Itzy sighed and tossed the Stenton where. Oh, I still don't know how to say that word. What is that? Wearing pony the bits as Mumbles picked out 2 big, juicy-looking apples. I hope you're happy, she said. Murmur. Anyway, I'm Itzy, and this big buffoon is Sergeant Mumbles. We're Princess Sparkle's personal guards. Are you one of the elements of harmony? Mumbles here seems to think so. The elucent said as Mumbles gleefully bit into one of his apples. Ahem, the name's Applejack. Nice to meet you both. Great. Would you happen to know where the princess's whereabouts? For 20 bits, I might. Mirror, mock, mirror, right French mirror, royal mishmash. The large stallion mumbled. What'd he say? Sorry, he got hit in the head a little too hard when he was young. He hasn't been able to form proper words since. He said you could tell us where the princess is, or we could lock you up for interfering with royal business. Your choice. You could do that, but I think the princess would be none too happy about one of her best friends being thrown in jail. You wouldn't want to upset the princess, now would you? She said smugly, giving the two soldiers a very infuriating grin. You got some nerves, Miss Applejack. Mirror mush may mirror. Alright, fine. But it's coming out of your paycheck as well. Oh, it's a girl. I feel so slow. Alright, fine, but it's coming out of your paycheck as well, she said, reluctantly tossing 20 bits towards Applejack. I'm not sure, but I think Twilight's at Sugar Cube Corner, she said, putting her last earnings into a gigantic bag of bits. Wait, you're not even sure? I said I might know. Not I do know. You're the one that agreed to pay me for the info. The elucent lunged at Applejack, but Mumbles grabbed her before she could do any damage, kicking at the air, yelling obscenities at the conniving sales pony. Itzy was carried through the air over the bakery by her much larger Pegasus partner. Pleasure doing business with you, Applejack yelled. Put me down! I promise I won't go after her, the Liliant yelled after a few moments of raging. The sergeant cautiously complied. And if we find her, please don't tell Twilight about this, she said, knocking on the door before a pink mare answered. Hiya! What can I help? What can I do for you? She said cheerfully. Hello there. I'm just gonna say Liliant Itzy. And this is Sergeant Mumbles. Mare. We're Princess Sparkle's personal guards, and we were told she might be here. Oh yeah, she's here all right. Please come in, she said, stepping aside to let the two guards in. Suddenly, the slightly muffled yet still clearly audible sound of a mare moaning in obvious sexual bliss could be heard. Oh my. Can I get you anything to drink? The pink mare said as the trio entered the kitchen. Twilight's not up there, is she? Oh no, she's passed out on the living room couch. I don't think she'll be waking up anytime soon. She was up all night drinking, and I think she might be on drugs. Oh god, not Oh my god. Oh god, not again. That we're supposed to be in cancel. They're pausing because they hear the moans. Because we're supposed to be in Canterlot to meet the Griffin ambassador and catch an airship back to his country in an hour. Itzy said, constantly being interrupted by the mare thoroughly enjoying herself upstairs. I really think you should let her sleep, the pink pony said. Yeah, I think we'll just come back later, Itzy said, feeling very eager to vacate the building. Okie dokie Loki. Molestia malt mappy. I see what they did there. Yes, Mumbles, I know Celestia won't be happy. But there's nothing we can do about it, Itzy said as the sergeant made their way out of the bakery. Mere apples? No. No more apples. Mirror. He said in a strident tone. Rainbow was overcome with waves of pleasure, each one more intense than the last. Soren had serious oral gymnastic skills with a rhythm that was absolutely mind-blowing. As if he knew exactly how she was feeling, he pulled his mouth away just before she felt like she was going to climax, and positioned himself over her, and gently and caringly inserted his large throbbing member into her passage. I was scared we were going to start on this. She felt her muscles clamming down on him as he began a rhythmic sequence of movements in and out, starting out slow and then gradually hastening. Her still very taut belly heaved back and forth, its contents all the while slishing around while she continued to audibly manifest her pleasure in loud cries. I'll show you a real sonic rain boom, he shouted, picking up speed. Oh my gosh, yes, she yelled. You seeing colors yet? He thrusted even faster. Oh my gosh, 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 she yelled at a rapid speed in collaboration with his hip movements, and just when she felt like she couldn't take any more, his seed poured into her, the sensation sending her over the edge into an orgasm. Boom! He yelled, finished ejaculating, and then rolled over onto Rainbow's side. Oh shit. Rainbow remained speechless for several moments, panting heavily alongside Soren as she rode out her incredible high. I'm sorry, that doesn't usually happen, he said, breaking the silence. What do you mean? That was fantastic. Yeah, and I likely just got you pregnant. I intended to pull out. Oh shit. Wah! the newborn foal cried. Rainbow and Soren did their best to ignore her, but she was just so damn loud. Rainbow seriously considered throwing... oh, shit. Rainbow seriously considered throwing the foal out the window, but then she figured the mother might not like it very much. Rainbow Dash, the doctor will see you now, the nurse said as Rainbow and her new Wonderbolt partner got up and followed the nurse into the room, down the hall, and into the doctor's examination room, where the nurse directed Rainbow to lie down on the examination table. The doctor will be in soon, she said, exiting the room. They waited another 40 minutes before the doctor finally came in. Ah, Rainbow Dash, you're looking well fed. Let's take another look at your test results, the doctor said as he put on his glasses and opened up the file on the table. As he read it, his expression suddenly turned sour. It says here you got tested positive for type 2 diabetes and testicular cancer. Huh? The doctor closed the file and looked at the front. Oh, my bad. Wrong file. He said, grabbing the file underneath that actually said Rainbow Dash. You're very much not pregnant. In fact, you can't even get pregnant anymore. Whatever alchemical remedy you ingested seems to have made you infertile. And I did warn you about the side effects of permanent magic. Thank God, Soren exclaimed. Rainbow shot him a look. About not being pregnant. Not the whole infertile thing. That totally sucks. Oh, so smooth. Meh, I never really liked kids anyway. So, when do you think I could fly again? And let's take a look, shall we? He said, picking a probbing rod, then coming over to Rainbow's side. He outstretched her wing with his magic and started poking at the muscles. It twitched in response. Did you feel that? Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I still can't move them, though. Well, I'd say there's definitely been some improvement. I'm no expert on alchemy, but at the current rate of nerve regrowth, no doubt you'll regain full movement anytime soon. Perhaps within a few years. What? I can't wait that long! I'm sorry, but it looks like you're going to have to. An idea popped into Rainbow's head. Hey, what if I drank more healing potions? I'm not claiming any responsibility for your pursuit in alternative treatments. As I told you before, I don't recommend it. But it is likely that your nerve regrowth would accelerate if you were to ingest greater quantities of whatever alchemical remedy you took before. However, the side effects such as the insatiable hunger you described would only intensify. Did you say? Soren said, an underlying deviousness in his voice. Thanks for reading my very first Fimfic. My mother would be so proud. Yes. Your mother would be very proud. Let me tell you that right now. This was hilarious. Let me just tell you that right off the bat. It was absolutely hilarious. I had a great time reading this. I have to say I give it a 0.5 out of 5 stars for a clop rating, but I don't know if you're into that kind of a fetish. I'm not gonna judge. But yeah, but the story altogether, it was hilarious. I really enjoyed this. I have to say, I can't wait to do more of these, and hopefully it'll be a little bit better next time because I'll be a little bit more awake. It's only 11 o'clock, but I mean, I just feel like I'm about to pass out right now. But yeah. Like and favorite if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you like this video. You might like some of my others, and I will catch you on the next video that I make. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. I really don't know how long I've been doing this shit. I guess 2010's the first
deserve shit that you gave a shit. I was the underdog, so please excuse me a bit. I need some space, so someone please make